Getting into chapter 256 of Jujutsu Kaisen, which is the 28th part of the Shinjuku Showdown, we actually start off in a mini flashback where Gojo explains the nature of Black Flash. He begins by explaining to everyone that he can't use Black Flash because of the 6 eyes. Now, we know that this isn't true since he used it 4 times against Sukuna, Maharaga, and Agito, so I believe that this particular translation might be missing a sentence, and with the following descriptions of Black Flash, I believe that what he really means is that he can't use it on command. But getting into the explanation, he goes on to say that Black Flash is a distortion of space that arises when a sorcerer applies cursed energy within a millionth of a second, and yes, I did look that up just to get that right. However, he feels as if this explanation is lacking. Gojo then asks us to imagine a straight punch with cursed energy, and labels the 3 types of cursed energy present within it. Number 1 being cursed energy reinforcement, number 2 is the cursed energy striking the opponent, and number 3 contains types 1 and 2. He then states that blending all 3 might induce a Black Flash, but there is no one, except Gojo of course, that can accurately adjust the 3rd type in order for the Black Flash to form. But not only that, this blend also changes according to the environment and condition of the body, and even air temperature and humidity have an impact, especially since Black Flash is all about the space itself. All these conditions mean that there is no right answer for using Black Flash. Gojo then goes on to say that when he fights seriously, it's the curse technique that intertwines with his physical punches, so even for him, Black Flash is practically up to luck. And also mentions Naname, who holds the record for consecutive Black Flash hits. However, Gojo reveals that obviously he's the one that holds the record for the total number of Black Flash hits and just glazes himself quickly, stating that his fights end so fast he doesn't get a lot of opportunities to use it.
Thanks, James.
But before we get into the rest of the chapter, if you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps my small channel grow. Also, I've made a Patreon and it's in the description below. Support me if you'd like. And now back to the fight. Sukuna seems to be regaining his curse energy, although his reverse curse technique output is still low since his hands aren't fully healing. Maki notes that Sukuna has used Black Flash twice now, and also mentions that Miguel and LaRue are the helpers Yuta said might come. However, Miguel thinks to himself that Sukuna's condition will likely improve, so they should dip. I mean, thanks for the help anyway, I guess? Yuji states that, like Gojo, Sukuna could recover reverse curse technique, and also wonders who Miguel and LaRue are. We also hear Choso's thoughts as he speculates if they can all cooperate in order to finish off Sukuna. Choso suddenly kicks up a railing from the ground, and while Maki distracts Sukuna, Yuji grabs the railing and charges at Sukuna, trapping him by the wall, as Choso then jumps up above him and aims a close-range piercing blood. But as he fires, Sukuna speedily jumps out of the way down the corridor of the underground shopping center. Maki, already behind him though and in one of the shops, crashes through, impaling Sukuna against a wall. But Sukuna slashes apart the ceiling above, and as it comes crashing down, he literally skywalks to attack Maki. And at first I thought he was using the rubble as stepping stones, but even Choso questions if he's using the air itself as footing, and bro literally went to the CP9 training school to pull off this move. Sukuna then smiles again and creates another Black Flash that hits Maki, sending her flying through a shop window. She notes that it's the 3rd time he's now used a Black Flash, but suddenly gets hit with a couple dismantles while thinking that the output of his normal slashes is increasing. Suddenly, several balls of blood appear around Sukuna, and Choso immediately activates his supernova that destroys a large area. But from the smoke, Sukuna just sends out several dismantles towards Choso. However, the dismantles were just a distraction, as at speeds way faster than his own slashes, Sukuna is already behind Choso and grabbing him. He chucks him against the wall, and while Choso tries to protect himself, Sukuna for the 4th time lands a Black Flash directly into him. But there is good news because Choso managed to use blood armor in order to protect himself from most of the impact. Sukuna is then suddenly punched away by Yuji, and Choso thinks to himself, confirming that no matter how much Sukuna tries to improve his condition using Black Flash, every punch from Yuji will drop again his curse energy output and body control. Choso then tags Yuji in and slurs his words, asking Yuji to do it since his mouth is filled with blood and he's absolutely winded. And I'd love to think that this is a reference to the toothless meme of the characters, because that would just be absolutely hilarious. We then finally see what Miguel and LaRue are doing as Miguel picks up LaRue, taking him away. He says it's enough and that they should pull out, but LaRue denies this, stating that there's more left to do. A wall then explodes as Yuji and Sukuna burst from it, fighting in close hand-to-hand. Sukuna grabs Yuji, potentially doing a cleave attack, but before that can happen, Yuji grapples Sukuna, yanking him down, and then points his hands at Sukuna in a very familiar way. And Choso pops in, telling us that Yuji still can't use convergence that well, and while he lies on the floor recovering, Yuji pulls out a piercing blood, hitting Sukuna in the cheek, who just dodged most of the impact in time. And oh my god, what an insane reveal that Yuji can use blood manipulation just like his big brother Choso. It's incredible, even if the reveals are only trickered to us slowly through the fight. He definitely gained this power by eating one of the death painting wombs, and since they were created through the Kamo family, most of the death paintings can use a form of blood manipulation. I'm definitely happy that I kept calling that was going to happen, since the hints were just pretty obvious at this point. But this could also mean that Yuji isn't finished showing off his powers. He could have something else up his sleeve as the fight continues. Sukuna then lets go of Yuji, and while he slides back, separating the two, Yuji prepares for another attack as black flashes appear behind him. Sukuna stands there ready to dodge, and the narrator begins to speak, saying that like Mahito in Shibuya, Sukuna had a feeling Yuji was going to use Black Flash. However, suddenly Sukuna's pupils turn into hearts as his attention is diverted away, surprising the King of Curses himself. And he looks up at a small bridge where two people are stood while wondering why he can't take his eyes off of a particular sorcerer. And it's revealed to be LaRue with his hand outstretched, explaining that his technique doesn't just grab bodies, but can also grab an opponent's heart. Sukuna's attention is completely diverted away from Yuji, and he takes full advantage of this, swinging his fist towards Sukuna, and lands the most spectacular Black Flash we've ever seen on the King of Curses. And I'm finally so happy Yuji used Black Flash. Since Sukuna used his own Black Flash, I've been patiently waiting, and we've finally gotten it. This punch has definitely got to have done a ton of damage to Sukuna. I mean, a heavy Black Flash hit alongside Yuji's soul-splitting punch would for sure mess up even Sukuna himself. The chapter, however, isn't finished yet, and the narrator explains that the Black Flash has released Yuji's potential amidst the shower of black sparks. Yuji Itadori has awakened. And I have no idea what this means. It's not like a Devil Fruit Awakening, but Yuji has potentially unlocked a limiter, or in my opinion, he can almost use Black Flash willingly now. But since this chapter is over, one thing to note is that it's crazy how all Miguel and LaRue did was distract Sukuna enough for Yuji and the rest to recover and start fighting again, and then dipping when things get tough. I'm annoyed that they're just leaving, but at the same time glad that they've dealt quite a major blow in the fight, better than some other unfortunate characters. It's now coming to the end of the video, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I'm so happy you stopped by. My channel is steadily growing, and I'm amazed at the support I'm getting. And I also have a Patreon now, so feel free to support me however you like. The link will be in the description, and I will shout out names at the end of each video. Thank you again, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.